Hi, I'm Graham and welcome back to Man vs Film. This is going to be a top 10 of movies that you can watch right now on Amazon Prime UK for the month of February 2018. So let's get started. Number 10. Inception. A thief who steals corporate secrets through the use of dream-sharing technology is given the inverse task of planting an idea into the mind of a CEO. That's a rather cold and clinical explanation of this movie that can be a little bit cold and clinical. Leonardo DiCaprio stars in Christopher Nolan's time-bending movie with some amazing special effects and an even better sounding score. This is a movie with a great cast, great ideas, and it works terrifically well while creating some fantastic visual elements as well. Inception is 7 years old, 8 almost, and if you haven't seen it in the longest while, it's time to go back to it and try and discuss that ending. What do you think happened? Was it all a dream? Was it all reality? Did the totem topple over? Let me know in the comment box your thoughts on that. Number 9, The Island. A man living in a futuristic sterile colony begins to question his circumscribed existence when his friend is chosen to go to the island, the last uncontaminated place on Earth. The Island is directed by Michael Bay, stars Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson, and is a really nice conceit about it. It is about this clinical facility where clones are made and they are harvested for organs when required. But they play along by letting them think that they're going to this island to be saved. But in reality, it's the opposite. It's their lives that are doomed because of this. But to escape and find themselves on the outside world and find out that everything they thought was true was really a lie. It's a really neat idea. It's executed fairly well. It's a good action adventure with some good special effects as well. It's a fun watch. Number 8, Orphan. Kate and John are grief-stricken at the loss of their baby. However, they rebuild their troubled marriage as Kate goes into therapy and recovers for alcoholism. The couple adopt a 9-year-old Estonian girl named Esther. Eventually, Kate begins to suspect that Esther is not the angelic little girl after all, and may harbour a sinister secret. Orphan is one of those horror movies that sticks with you. It works tremendously well. There is some good performances, especially from young Esther, the little child actor in this one, who does a terrific job of being just a little bit creepy, that little bit odd and very, very unsettling. Orphan is a movie that is best going into knowing as little as possible before checking it out. And I want to know your thoughts on what you think of the ending after you've seen it. Number 7, Jackie Chan's First Strike. Jackie, a cop, participates in a sting operation on an international spy ring, but when one of them gets away, he is ordered to apprehend them. This leads Jackie all over the globe as he tries to stay alive and capture the villain. Sometimes known as Police Story 4, this is when Jackie Chan was really starting to make it over in America. I know lots of his movies made it over here. It's full of the crazy Jackie Chan stunts that we know and love, and I just have a soft spot for these kind of movies. Spectacular, fun visuals, may not be something that you go back to for story's sake, but it is just an entertaining, fun watch. Number 6, Interview with the Vampire. Louis' wife and infant have died, and now he's lost the will to live. A vampire named Lestat takes a liking to him and offers him the chance to become a creature of the night. Set over many decades and centuries, this tells the story of two characters, Lestat played by Tom Cruise and Louis played by Brad Pitt, as their futures, our past lives, were intertwined by this terrible incident and how it affected each of them. It's a really nice story. It creates some stunning visuals. You get two fantastic performances, especially from Cruise, who's playing a bad guy, one of the rare occurrences in his career, but it works terribly well. And to see Pitt and Cruise in the same screen and do some spectacular stunts, fighting, or just act the hell out of the scene is really good. Number 5, Miss Sloane. In the high-stakes world of political power brokers, Elizabeth Sloane is the most powerful, sought-after and formidable lobbyist in DC. But when taking on the most powerful opponent of her career, she finds winning may come at too high a price. It feels like a true story, but it's completely fictionalised. But Jessica Chastain acts her socks off as a terrific role as Miss Sloane, the titular character. It's full of high-speed dialogue, feels almost like Sorkin could have wrote it. Lots of twisting and turning, especially big reveals at the end as every part comes together. You never had a chance of solving this mystery. You didn't even know it was going to be a mystery at parts. It seems like a David and Goliath tale with Miss Sloane against the gun company. But it's really, really fascinating, really entertaining with some great performances. Number 4, Fallen. Detective John Hobbs is convinced that when killer Edgar Reese is executed, all of his troubles are over. But when people he knows and people in the street start to sing the same tune that Reese sang in the gas chamber, he is told that maybe the cursed fallen angel Azazel is behind it all. Denzel Washington in this supernatural thriller is really terrific. He adds a little bit of class to this movie about a spiritual entity that can pass through people just by touch. It creates some really paranoia sequences as Washington is hunted down by this serial killer in spiritual form. It's something that you wouldn't expect Denzel Washington to be in, but it's also good. It's entertaining, it's thrilling, it's got a mystery at its heart, it's got a terrific ending, and yeah, I think you should definitely check this one out. Number 3, Sleepless. Undercover Las Vegas police officer Vincent Downs finds himself trapped in a web of corrupt cops, internal affairs, and violent gangsters. Jamie Foxx is undercover cop, and this is one of these it all happens in one night kind of movies. I do have a soft spot for this kind of plot point where everybody's put their backs up against a wall and they have a single night to try and get themselves out of this hole that usually they've made from themselves. It's got lots of action set pieces that do feel familiar if you've seen the Raid movies. If you haven't, you'll probably find them quite kinetic, quite fresh, quite energetic. It's not a movie that you're going to go back to lots. It's an entertaining piece, a popcorn flick, but what it does fairly well. Number 2, Non-Stop. An air marshal springs into action during a transatlantic flight after receiving a series of text messages demanding $150 million into an offshore account or somebody will die every 20 minutes. Liam Neeson Old Man Action Mode. I recently saw The Commuter and I wanted to go back and revisit its better movie version, Non-Stop. Based on a plane, Liam Neeson plays a man trapped with a killer in here, trying to figure out the mystery of who's doing everything, why they're doing it, and why he is in the centre of all this. It's fun, it's a good mystery, it's got some nice action set pieces, it's got a good story to it, and it's the more exciting version of The Commuter. So if you like that and you haven't seen Non-Stop, I definitely recommend this. I think you're going to really like it. And number 1 is Colossal. Gloria is an out-of-work party girl forced to leave her life in New York City and move back home. When reports surface of a giant creature is destroying Seoul, she gradually comes to the realisation that she is somehow connected to this phenomenon. Colossal is bonkers. It's directed by Nacho Vigalondo, who did the amazing Time Crimes. It stars Anne Hathaway as Gloria. This character who has one lifestyle that's not working for her, she moves back home. She discovers that when she walks through this kids' play park at a certain point in time, somehow in Seoul there is a giant monster copying her moves. She tells a couple of people there, it gets a little bit more involved, but it's crazy, it's absolutely bonkers, and I love it for that. Jason Sudeikis stars in the movie as well as somebody that's trying to help out Gloria back at her hometown, something that knew her when she was younger. It's full of lots of kind of character moments as Gloria comes to realise things about herself, but it also plays out as a part monster movie. It's just a little bit crazy that way. It's something that is not for everybody. But I think if you are attuned to this kind of movie, you're going to love it. You'll love it as much as I did. I thought it was really unique, really interesting, and something very different. I think this is the one that you should check out. You may not have heard of it, but it's definitely worth your time. It's always good to try something new, and this is definitely something new. So there we have it, the top 10 movies for Amazon Prime for the month of February 2018. If there's something I've missed out, you should let me know in the comment box below. If you haven't already done so, click that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next month on Man vs Film.